Hi guys, and welcome back to the Canadian Glam channel. Glam here, and I'm not really sure what I'm going to call this video yet, so I can't say. As you can see by the title, this is what today's video is. But I'm just going to roll with it. So any of you that follow me on social media probably seen that I did a little bit of a mini shopping excursion and picked up a few new items to try, so I'm definitely going to try them out in this video. Again, I just want to start by thanking all of you guys who have been supportive of me, and yeah, we're just going to get right into this video. So the first new thing that I picked up is this Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser by Maybelline. Now I've heard a lot of hype about this on YouTube, so I thought I'd go and give it a try. But because I have mainly my pores right here, like my accentuated pores are on my nose, and on this higher cheekbone area, I'm going to use that in that spot, and then I'm going to go in with my Sheer Envy Primer Long Wear 12 Hours by Hard Candy. So I'm going to mix the two primers. Oh wow. So this is a clear primer. I've never had a clear primer before, but it is definitely very interesting. It's more of a silky feel than than any of my other normal primers that I've been using. So I'm just going to really press that into my pores. So I don't know if it's going to get tacky or anything like the rest of mine do, but I think I might have grabbed a little too much product. So I'm just going to try and move it around a bit. Okay, now I'm going to go in with the Hard Candy primer and just prime up the rest of the outskirts of my face. I just want to give you an update while I'm doing this. So I have been using the skincare products by Balance, I believe, for just over a week. I won't be doing my final review until next week, but I am going to say right now that I'm very happy with the product, especially considering because when I get sick, my skin tends to take most of the heat for it and it starts to dry out very quickly, and it has been helping to keep it a little bit more moisturized. So also I'm going to be showcasing the Consonant skincare that they sent me in this week's upcoming videos. And if you are a fan of the Disney tutorials that I do, I will be uploading one on Sunday, and I will be doing, I haven't decided which one I'm going to be doing. It's either, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be doing the Jasmine from Aladdin this week. So today's foundation that I'm going to be using is the L'Oreal True Match Lumi. I'm in the shade C3. I'm going to be putting 2 pumps of this on my hand, and I'm going to be mixing it with my Sheer Glow from Hard Candy in Blushing Babe. And I'm just going to put, because it's a illuminating foundation, I'm just going to put one dot instead of 2 using my wet Real Techniques blending sponge. Just going to pick up some of that product and start dabbing it on my face. And the thing I like about this foundation, it's a very buildable foundation. Like, I'm starting with really sheer coverage. As you can see, my cheeks are still quite flushed. It's not completely canceling that out, but as I keep pressing more of the product in, it is starting to build up that coverage. But I am going to have to place some more products. So I'm going to do the same thing. I like my skin to be very covered, but with this foundation by Lumi, the thing I like about it is even if you have more product than you would normally typically use, it doesn't look cakey. Not to mention that the blending sponge by Real Techniques does tend to pick up a lot more product, and I think that's the reason you have to use a little bit more. I am going to be purchasing the Real Beauty Blending Sponge by Beauty Blender so that I can try and see if there's a difference between the Real Techniques or the Beauty Blender to see if it's really worth the hype compared to this Real Techniques one, and if it's worth spending the $20-some on it. Now my skin is acting up a little bit today, so I am finding it a little bit more difficult than usual to cover up some of my red spots and blemishes. There we go. Now the concealer I'm going to be using today is more of a recent purchase for me. Sorry about the noise, guys. I'm just grabbing a makeup wipe to wipe the rest of that product off my hand. It's more of a newer purchase for me. This is the Maybelline Master Conceal by Maybelline. I think I said that, and it's in the shade 20 Light. So I'm just going to add some of that under there for now. For some reason, I always do have a problem with my eyes specifically, with product creasing. Now, I've seen this trick on YouTube. I don't know if it's a gimmick or not, but I am going to try it. And instead of using a translucent powder, this YouTuber was using baby powder to set the under eye concealer and bake with. So I am going to try that because being a mother of an 8-month-old, I have baby powder. I'm using the pure cornstarch one. I don't know if there's a difference or not, but I'm going to give it a try and see if this works to set my concealer. I always like to try things out that I see online to see if they're a gimmick or not. And I can tell you right off the bat, my under eyes are creasing big time. So, maybe not for me to use under my eyes, but I will try again when I go to bake with it and see if that works better for baking. So next I am going to take the Fit Me concealer and just highlight the rest of my areas. hope you guys are having a great weekend, and that it's nice weather. It's about 19 degrees here where I am, so that's one of the warmest days we've had. But hopefully it gets warmer here on out. We've had quite a lot of rain in the last week, so everything's really muddy. And that's the worst part of spring for me. I hate the mud. Alright, now that that is all done and blended in, I'm going to go in with the Essence Matte Compact that I got a couple weeks ago, and I'm just going to set the rest of my face. Sorry guys, I'm like seeing a hair on my face there for a minute. It was driving me nuts. So I'm going to be going in with a bronzer and bronzing up my face. I'm going to be going in with my favorite bronzer at the moment, and this is the Essence Matte Bronzing Powder in the shade 1 Natural. This is for light skin tones. And I just love the smell of it to begin with. Like, it smells like coconuts. And I've kind of been obsessing with this since I purchased it. For me, because I am more of a light skin tone, I do find in the summer I get very, very dark. I don't burn, I get dark, but the rest of the year I'm actually more light skin toned, especially this time of year when the rest of my color is kind of gone. And I find that some of the bronzers are either make me look really, really dark or they look really orangey. And with this one I've had luck and I haven't had those issues. So next I'm going to go in and contour. Now I got this warm nude from Physicians Formula. It's the Shimmer Bricks. I've heard a lot of raving about this on YouTube as well. But it comes with this really cute little brush, and I thought it would be great to get in there to contour with, so I'm going to try that. But for contouring, I'm going to be using the Master Contour Kit by Maybelline in the medium to deep shade number 20. This is the first time I'm using this brush, so we will see how it works. It actually gets right in there and helps chisel that out. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the NARS brush, but if you've seen how expensive that NARS brush is, it's like 90 bucks, I think. It's crazy expensive. Anyways, for one little brush. And after the hype was kind of over with it and everybody was done purchasing it, a lot of people were coming out saying that they were really disappointed with it just for the simple fact it shed like crazy. And that's why on my channel, guys, you're not going to see me buying products that are all the rage, all the hype, like the second waiting for them to release and kind of sitting at 2 o'clock in the morning waiting for them to drop and purchasing them right away. I tend to like to wait and kind of let other people do the work for me by purchasing the products and trying them out, and then I get to read all of the reviews and see what people's pros and cons of them are so that I'm not wasting my money. I didn't mention it on any of my social medias, but I actually went and stopped in at Sephora because I was really, really curious about the Alice in Wonderland palette. And I seen it there and I was really excited about it, but at the same time, I talked myself out of buying it at the last minute. I've seen some reviews on it and I really like it, but I'm going to probably wait for the price to go down a little bit because right now it's $75. And for me, for the amount of shades that you get, I can think of a lot more products that I can purchase with that rather than spend my money on something that's just newly released like that. So I'm sorry if that disappoints people. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add my blush. And I just picked this one up the other day. This is Annabelle blush in the shade Peony. It's a really pretty pink. So I'm just going to grab some of that. I've never used Annabelle before, so it's a really pretty light pink color. It's not super pigmented, so you can go in with a little bit of a heavy hand. But I want to keep it more on the natural side of me, just looking flushed rather than looking like I've caked on the blush. So I'm going to go in now and try and use that baby powder and bake my contour a bit and see if it's going to clean up. I just want to give it a little bit more definition. I'm just going to pat that in like so, and then move on to my highlighter, and then when I'm done my highlighter I can brush that off. But this will just help clean up and define that contour more without having to really sharpen it with more color. Or at least that's the point of it anyways. I'm going to try. So moving on to highlighter, I'm going to be using the Warm Nude Physicians Formula Shimmer Bricks. And for my highlighter I'm going to be mixing these top two rows right here. And I'm going to be using the Luxie 522 tapered highlighter brush to do my highlight. The rest of the brushes I'm using are my regular brushes. And that's a really pretty highlight, if you guys can see that. It's really getting in there. It builds very quickly, that's for sure. It's not a subtle highlight right off the bat. But anybody that watches me, I'm not a person to have subtle highlight unless I'm doing like a nearly nude makeup look, but still I want my highlighter to be one of the focal points. I'm just going to take some and press that on my Cupid's bow. And a little bit on the tip of my nose. I'm going to stay away from my chin and my forehead today and just do my nose and my Cupid's bow and the tops of my cheekbones. So now that I'm done my highlighter, I'm just going to go ahead and wipe that baby powder away. And it did clean it up a little bit, but I'm going for a more subtle contour today, not a very carved out contour. Alright, moving on. I'm going to go ahead and prime my eyelids, and for that I'm going to be using the NYX Jumbo Pencil in the shade 604 Milk. And for this, I had something right about this. For this, I just take the pencil and I go along the lash line into the inner corner and just bring it up just on the eyelid, like so. And then just taking my finger, I'm just going to blend that outwards. Just patting and swiping all at the same time, just till you get a smooth consistency. I've been really loving this milk pencil for priming my eyelids because, especially with the palette that I'm going to use for this look, which is a new one that I bought, I've never used it, so I don't know how pigmented or how well these shadows are going to show up, so I'm going to use my safety net for that and prime with this milk pencil. So any white base will help any not so pigmented or not so harsh colors to show up more on your eyes. So if you have a shadow that you really, really like but it's not as pigmented, it takes a lot of work to build it up, I suggest purchasing the milk pencil and using it to prime your eyelids, or any white pot primer, so that you have, when you have a white base and white out your eyes like that, it really helps to help the colors shine through better. So now that I'm done that, I'm going to set this aside, and I'm going to be going in with the palette that I'm using today. So this is the Blush Nudes palette from Maybelline. I heard a lot about this palette on YouTube as well. That's where I get a lot of my information from of what to purchase next. I try and follow some of the trends, but not all of them. I like to stay within a friendly budget range for people so that my YouTube channel can be versatile for people on budgets, but people that do have a little bit more. I try to find products that are kind of in that mid-range. They're not really, really cheap, but they're not really, really expensive. I try and stay within that range. So these are the shadows. They're actually quite pretty. So I'm going to be going in with this white one over here in this corner just to set that NYX pencil and set the primer so that my eyes can blend out everything smoothly on my eyelids. So now that it's getting a little bit warmer, wearing a sweater might have been a bad idea with my lights. It's very, very warm in here right now. It's a small room, so these lights warm up everything really fast. I really want to have your guys' feedback with the product selection that I'm using, or if there's a product that you guys really want me to showcase, or one that's your favorite that you guys can't live without, please mention it in the comments if it's something that I don't use, so that I can purchase it and pick it up so I can try it along with you guys. So now that it's done, excuse me guys, I'm going to be going in with this color right here, and that's going to be my transition color. Sorry. I haven't really decided I've decided what colors, but I haven't really decided what look I'm going for yet, so I'm just going to kind of roll with it. So this is a pretty color, but they are not really as pigmented as I would have expected them to be, so it's probably a good thing that I used the NYX pencil. I'm just going just above the crease, but also a little bit into the crease. Like so. And just repeating the same step on the other eye. If you guys have problems with under eye creasing as well once you put your concealer on, I'd love to hear what you guys think is the best concealer for something like that. what products you use to set your under eye. Because maybe I'm just using a product that's just not working for me. The baby powder definitely made things worse rather than better. So I liked using it to define my contour, but definitely not for setting my under eye. So I have that on. You can start to see a little bit of definition. I'm going to go in with the shade right next to it, which is this one, and I'm going to be switching to this brush right here. It's more of a angled fine point, and I'm just going to be taking this right into my crease. And just really buff it back and forth. So these shadows don't blend too bad, but they are not as pigmented as I thought they would be. Looking at that that shadow palette, like some of the darker colors, I thought they'd be a lot more pigmented. And doing the same thing on the other side. I'm hoping all the background noise isn't coming through in this. If it is, I apologize. My son's outside playing with his grandparents and dad, so that I'd have less noise in the house, but they're right outside the window, so I'm just buffing this back and forth in the crease. Like so. I'm actually quite happy with that. And I'm going to try and keep it pretty simple today. So I'm really been staring at this gorgeous rose color right here. So I'm going to be trying this color, and I'm going to use this as my lid color. So I'm going to go in with my eyeshadow brush by Bokashi. I think that's how you pronounce it. If I'm butchering it, I apologize. It's just one that I got in my Ipsy bag. So I'm going to pack this all over my lid. Sorry if I was covering that up there. Like so. This is a really pretty blushed rose color with a little bit of shimmer pigment in it, not overwhelming by any means. I haven't really noticed too much fallout with these shadows, so that is a bonus. I'm going to try and keep this look on more of the simple nude look today. So I need a little bit more definition on the outer corner. So I'm going to go back with that brush that I used to set my crease color, and I'm going to pick up just a little bit darker of a color, this one over here. Sorry guys. I still have a little bit of the cough. And just concentrating this on just the outer V, just to darken it up just a little bit. Like so. Just really buff that in. I'm not bringing it all the way in, I'm just concentrating on that outer V. I just thought it needed just a little bit more definition. like so. Now you can see it makes your eye a lot more defined than what it was. And doing the same thing on the other eye. Like so. This side needs a little bit more. That's better. So that's all I'm going to be using for this, and then just using what's left on this brush, I'm just going to just a very, very tip right here. I want to leave my eyes open. Just to kind of give it a little bit of depth and dimension on the outer corner. Now I'm going to be using my Face Ulterior Shimmers, or Shimmer I should say, and I'm going to go in with that champagne color. I think this one's the champagne color. They didn't leave the description, but I know champagne was the one that I chose, so as long as they sent me the one that I chose, this should be the champagne color. I'm just going to pick some of that pigment up on my finger and just go in and touch the center of my eye and just pat it right in the center and kind of buff it back and forth a little bit like so, and do the same thing to the other eye. And just kind of blend. Sorry, I'm blocking everything here. Blend by patting. I'm not rubbing, I'm patting it on. And just buff it back and forth in the center. Like so. And next I'm going to brighten up my inner corners by using that Shimmer Brick palette. Sorry, that's my dog Milo. My husband's outside and he's in here with me. Milo, be quiet please. He's a little bit lonely. He can't see me because the door is closed and he doesn't like that. So as soon as I find it here, it's not the one I'm looking for. I seem to have, oh there it is. So I'm just going to take another pointed brush, blending brush, and I'm going to kind of swirl these two around. Because one's very white and the other one's more of a gold undertone. And I'm going to just press that in the inner corner of my eye. And I'm just going to do the same thing to the other eye. And there you have your inner corner highlights, like so. Now, I'm not going to do a winged eyeliner. I'm not going to do any real eyeliner at all. I'm going to be taking a small eyeliner buffing brush and my gel eyeliner by Rimmell in the shade 001 Black. I'm just going to pick up a little bit of it and I'm just going to buff it along my lash line because I am going to be going in with false lashes. Now, just as close as I can get to my lash line, I'm just buffing some of that color on there, and this is just going to leave a base for my lash line, lash band to sit, sorry, like so. Now, because I know this video is going to get pretty lengthy, I'm going to repeat the same thing on my other eye, throw on my mascara and lashes, and I will be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. So to start off with, I'll just show you the products I use for my brows. I pair the Ofra Eyebrow Universal Pencil with the Ardell Medium Brown Pot. Then for my lashes, I'm using the Shany Cosmetics Set 1 No. 4 lashes with the clear mascara, which I also use for my brows, and the Essence Lash Princess. So now I'm going to line my waterline. So for this, because I don't want it really whited out, I'm going to use this Nude Skin Dimitri Dreams Bright Eye Enhancing Pencil. I got this in my Ipsy bag, and I'm just going to use this to tightline my waterline, because this will help brighten my eyes without making them look really white. It'll keep me looking awake. Like so. It changes it compared to this eye. It just brightens it up that little bit. I know I make really stupid faces when I'm doing this, I'm sorry. So that's that, and now I'm just going to use that same mascara, the Lash Princess by Essence, and I'm just going to throw a quick coat on my lower lashes, of which I have none. Like so. And moving on to the lips. So for the lips, I'm going to first start by lining my lips. This is the Essence Lip Pencil in the shade 11 in the Nude. So I like to start by one, crossing it down, shading in this side, and then starting at the point of the other one, bringing it in and down, and shading it in. And this will help you get more of a defined Cupid's bow. Now just a little tip to get fuller looking lips. Shade in and darken in the inner corners. Underneath right here, just go a little bit lower and shade that in. You can also just put a little bit of contour underneath there, and that will darken up this area, giving you fuller, plumper looking lips. I'm going to be using the NYC Expert Last Lip Color in the shade 433 Peach Fuzz. Peach Fizz, sorry, not Fuzz. And lastly, I'm going to throw a new gloss over that. And this is one of the ones I picked up the other day. This is the Bonnie Bell Lip Lights in the shade Macchiato. These code numbers 4K1. And this stuff smells really, really pretty. It's got a little bit of a shimmer pigment to it, but not a lot. And I'm just doing that because I've been wearing a lot of lip stains lately and my lips are looking a little bit dehydrated. So the gloss, if your lips are a little bit dehydrated, the gloss will help camouflage that a little bit. So the last but not least thing to do is set it with a setting spray. I'm going in with the Sheer Envy Hydrating Primer Mist 12-Hour Power, and I'm just going to mist my whole face. Like so. And allow that to dry. So this is the finished look. I decided while I was off camera that I'm going to call this the Blushing Nudes. It's a very fresh and vibrant look. It's great for spring and summer, and I hope that you guys like that. If you do, please click the like button, comment down below on the things you like, the things you don't like, and some of your favorite products you want me to showcase and try out on my channel. As well, if you have not subscribed already, go ahead and do so for more great looks like this. And until next time, guys, remember to inspire and be inspired. Thanks for watching. Bye.